It's only been half a day, but it's been packed with content, and we have another full morning tomorrow. So I hope everyone has signed up to listen. Today was rail, and tomorrow is going to be even more the rail day, where we dive into the findings and discuss the ways forward. So remember, this is likely the single largest mobilization of the private sector to get us moving on the road to urgent climate action. And so, Johan, we are so pleased to hear from Dr. Gary Theseira for closing remarks. Dr. Gary is Council Member for Climate Governance Malaysia and an advocate for sustainability, and actually my key mentor in understanding the complexities of climate science, and I owe him a lot. Thank you, Dr. Gary, for your patience, your kindness, and your persistent efforts. Thank you so much. Over to you.
Thank you, Dr. Sri Sunita, and thank you so much, Dr. Sri Johan. It's been a pleasure listening to both of you this evening, and you've handled this with aplomb, really. Honored guests, distinguished speakers, ladies and gentlemen, it is my very pleasant duty on behalf of the organizers, the CEO Action Network and Climate Governance Malaysia, to say a few words to close this important launch. The collective global response to climate change has moved beyond measuring and reporting, beyond disclosure and transparency, to taking real action to address the impacts of climate change, as well as to align greenhouse gas emissions toward a low carbon economy and towards achieving all the goals and targets that we have set for ourselves. We didn't plan this, but the word action has actually come out throughout this launch. In the words of Central Bank Governor Tan Sri Nur Shamsia Mahmud Yunus in her keynote address at the Joint Committee on Climate Change, or JC3, their flagship conference, she said, "The world is clearly moving more aggressively on building climate resilience in what is being described as a decisive decade for climate action. Individual countries and firms cannot stand still." She pointed out, besides the fact that climate change has severe implications at a domestic level, it is global climate actions that will affect us directly through economic and financial linkages. In her words, how we respond is crucial. With the growing traction to sustainability, the risk of stranded assets is real and significant, and the risk of getting left behind and shut out of key markets will affect our economic competitiveness, lead to a drop in growth, and worse, it will impact existing inequalities in Malaysia. Ladies and gentlemen, the report we've launched today contains a wealth of information provided willingly by all the stakeholders over the course of these many roundtables. It should not sit on a shelf. It is not a coffee table book. It should be underlined, annotated, highlighted, dog-eared, bookmarked, and otherwise put to work. Align our plans, strategies, actions, and even our daily economic activities with our goals. The report is a work in progress. Work will continue this year, focusing on SMEs that collectively contribute almost 40% to Malaysia's GDP. A note of thanks. This report would absolutely not have been possible without the time and effort of many, many stakeholders. And we'd like to thank, first of all, ministries, state and local governments, government regulatory and enforcement agencies. We'd also like to thank all of the corporate entities that helped us organize the sessions, participated actively, frankly, and openly in all the roundtables. We'd like to extend a special note of thanks to Dr. Faiz and PwC for putting together all these diverse views in the report, leaving nothing out and adding nothing either. We'd like to thank members of academia, universities, both local and international, research institutes that have lent us their expertise to be captured in this report. We'd also like to thank the think tanks and civil society for very openly giving us their views as part of this report. We don't want to forget our foreign country partners, sovereign representatives from embassies and high commissions for their views. and the youth, because the future always begins now. And finally, we'd like to thank the many, many volunteers who've worked and who continue to work tirelessly in the background, because they believe that change is possible when engaged individuals and groups of individuals are empowered with information. And if you need further proof, just look at the questions and comments that have been posed, unsolicited, as Johan mentioned, in the Q&A box and the chat box. For our part, Climate Governance Malaysia will always be open to receiving your views and your support. If you are a corporate entity, please do consider becoming a member of the CEO Action Network. Please sign up for the CGM newsletters, register to attend CGM sessions, support the roundtable initiative by volunteering or attending, and put the word out by sharing links to CGM's events. In closing then, climate emergency needs every single person to step up, and that means all of us. We are all community leaders in our own right, and when more of our views are captured and curated, more will get the message, feel compelled to act on it. Our work begins immediately. Okay, well, actually tomorrow. Visit the CGM page, because the CAN CGM Roundtable series, the report on the 2021 proceedings, begins tomorrow. Do register and tell your friends. Finally, to all our Muslim friends, we wish you a blessed Ramadan, and to all a very pleasant evening. Thank you.